Alex here, aka Significant Brother, with a mix and production breakdown of the song Look at You Now. Lyrically, I tend to be drawn to songs that can work on multiple levels, songs that are a little more ambiguous and can be interpreted differently by the listener. In this case, Look at You Now works on one level as kind of this optimistic, hoorah, look at what you can accomplish on your own anthem, not too dissimilar from like Katy Perry's Roar. On another level, the song is literally about Odysseus trying to make his way home in Homer's The Odyssey. I'm no dummy. I can read. Musically, for the production of Look at You Now, I was wanting to combine the bombastic, over-the-top, four-chord rock of early Nirvana, Foo Fighters, Weezer, combined with a more melodic indie rock sensibility of OK Go, Islands, Borns, We Are Scientists, bands I listen to regularly now. So all in all, basically I was just trying to write a rock song. Let's pop open the hood of this Ableton session and take a look at the production of Look at You Now. The song is centered and built around kind of a clanking piano part. Typically, I'm a little nervous to use too much piano. Piano as an instrument covers the entire frequency range from the lows all the way to the highs. When you put that into a song, it takes up a lot of space and it can be difficult to find room for all of the other instruments. In this case, it's a very poorly played, clanky little piano in one little frequency range, so it was relatively easy to blend into the song. This was recorded with an Ableton stock grand piano plugin, followed by an RC20 to give it some distortion, grit, and thin it out quite a bit. A Sound Toys microshift giving it a little chorusing effect, and a decapitator to give it some further grit. Basically doing a lot of work to make this piano not sound like a real grand piano, and more like something that would fit into this nasty over-the-top rock song. The drums are a Jekyll and Hyde sample pack from That Sound. I would typically prefer to use live recorded drums. In this case, this was very much a home studio project. This drum loop just happened to be exactly what I was looking for. Bombastic, over the top, nasty. You know, why be subtle when you can be obvious? I am constantly, always looking for reasons to and ways to create space in songs. It creates dynamics, tension. One of the simplest, most effective ways to do that is just to remove the drums from time to time. In this case, the intro back end of verse 2, just pull out the drums, a little bit of tension. We throw a one knob filter on there, bring it back in, boosh. It's that easy. For the bass guitar, we're using my Fender Mustang bass running through the Universal Audio Apollo Ampeg plugin, followed by the distressor compressor to pull off some of those peaks. The bass is doubled by a bass synth to give it that extra subby sound that the clanky, thinned out bass just wasn't really filling out that low end the way I wanted it to, so it's been doubled with some subs. If the bass guitar isn't making your butt shake like you want it to, don't be afraid to throw some subs in there. That's what we always say. Our main guitar chords, SSL channel, decapitator, blowing them out quite a bit, giving them some of that direct preamp tubey feel. We've got acoustic guitars in the chorus. Not extremely present, but enough to provide a kind of a percussive, high-end feel to them. For the main guitar solos, we have an effect that I've been using quite a bit on the Significant Brother project. I love it when a plugin does not work correctly and you accidentally end up with something really cool. In this case, the guitar was a clean tone running through a Strymon Flint pedal. Here it is soloed by itself clean. It has reverb and a little bit of a tremolo effect on it. And when you throw, an octave sort of effect, or in this case, the little altar boy from Sound Toys, it has trouble trying to track what the actual notes are supposed to be because the notes have so much tremolo on them. So it creates this kind of warbled effect where it's trying to accurately figure out what note you're playing. It's not quite capturing it, but it's creating something really cool. And I follow that with a little stereo effect. It has this warbly, kind of unnatural sound that you can tell is a guitar, but not quite. Also in the chorus, we have some octave chords with a little altar boy on it, again trying to capture the correct notes, not quite getting it, so it creates that kind of warbled sound, especially with the formant pulled down. Decapitator doing some extra grit. We've got a higher guitar providing a little bit of movement and shimmer in the background. Beginning in the back half of chorus 2 and through the rest of the song is an arpeggiated synthesizer recorded on my Dave Smith Mofo that I did not save the preset for. I like this sound and I'll never be able to find it again. That's the beauty of making music. Let's take a look at the vocal chain. We'll mute everything right quick so we can hear it clean. We're hitting it at the top with a preamp to give it a little bit more oomph and grit, a little top end, followed by an SSL channel, giving it a little more compression, some top end. We've got a micro shift providing a chorusing effect on the vocals. We have my favorite plugin, the J37 tape, providing a little slapback delay, followed by a de-esser and then some additional automated effects that kick in later in the song. In the choruses, we have a counter melody. The vocal chain has a de-esser out of the gate, a glue compressor holding it in place, and then doing a lot of the work is the distressor compressor really cranked up to give it a real spitty, percussive sound that helps it cut through and makes it kind of the focal point in those sections. For the chanty main vocal melody, we have, I believe, 12 different tracks recorded from different spaces in my small little bedroom to try and get some different flavors in there. We've got some close mic. We've got some falsettos augmented with a little altar boy pitched up. We've got some lows providing a little bit more oomph buried in there. We've got some vocals recorded from the back of my bedroom, chanted. Then we've got some kind of dainty, angelic vocals buried in there that are kind of smoothing the whole thing out. So all those vocals together sound something like that. One of the things that I've really grown to love about working in Ableton is the stock synths that are set up in a new session. They sound very musical to me. I'm sending everything, or a lot of the tracks anyway, to the reverb, which is just a stock reverb in Ableton. You can hear the ambience of the room. I send a lot of things to the stock delay. Again, providing a little bit of ambience and putting things in a space to glue everything together. And then the third send that I've set up that I'm sending a lot of instruments to, as well as the CLA Echosphere that's providing another flavor of slap delay. These three synths combined and blended into the mix do a fantastic job of providing the whole mix with a space and an ambience that I think sounds great. And then finally on the master bus of what I sent of the final mix to Ian Sefcik of Dark Sky Mastering, we have the SSL Master Bus compressor pulling down 1, maybe 2 dB, kind of gluing everything together. We're also doing a classic trick that might be the bane of a mastering engineer's existence. I'm not entirely sure. The chorus's volume is set to 0 dB. For the verses, we pulled everything down by 1 dB. So technically, it feels like you're turning everything up when it hits the chorus by bringing everything down during the verse. Does it actually make a difference? I don't know. But it sure makes it feel like the choruses are hitting a little louder. It could be psychological. So there you go, folks. That's a quick look at Look At You Now by Significant Brother, out now everywhere via the Record Machine. Did you like that? You got questions, concerns, comments? Let me know down below. I'd love to hear from you. Talk soon. Keep rocking.